ultimate vast majority of it, India was fully supported the Palestinian people and voted in favor of this resolution. There was a United Nations General Assembly resolution to adopt the New York outcome document, which India endorsed and voted in favor to endorse the outcome document of the two-state solution. In New York declaration.
Talking about the relation between Pakistan and India, recent development has happened that India has voted in favor of a resolution backing the two-state solution for Palestine. This happened a few weeks back. Your thoughts regarding that, Excellency?
Thank you so much indeed, Sahil, for coming today. I know it's not easy to start or to continue working as a very dedicated and very committed journalist to come in your vacation and to meet and to interview me. This is highly appreciated from our side as a Palestinian, for your personal issue, for your you in person, of course, and for Asian Union International. Indeed, you said the Indian-Palestinian relation, we should correct the name. It's the Indian-Palestinian historical relation, because our relation with India is deeply rooted in history. It was started, some references talking about this relation was started in mid-1930s, when the Palestinian people launched their first revolution in 1936 to 1939, and India at that time had its own revolution, of course, so that there is a strong relation at that time. It seems that there is a lot of references talking that India was supporting the Palestinian revolution. Then India have another move, another very key move for us, when under the chairmanship of Mahatma Gandhi, India voted against the partition plan of Palestine in 1947, which is something we are highly appreciated. When India also recognized the PLO, the Palestinian Liberation Organization, late 1974, as the first non-Arab and non-Muslim country to recognize the PLO as the sole and legitimate representative of the Palestinian people. Then India was one of the first ever country to recognize the state of Palestine when it was declared by the chairman Yasser Arafat, 1988. In Algeria, India used to be with Palestine, India still with Palestine, and we trust that India will continue to be with Palestine. Back to the very last issue, which is not the very last. Just yesterday, India was, because it is a member of BRICS. BRICS adopted a resolution, outcome document, which is another step forward for us as a Palestinian. India was there when it agreed on this resolution, and there is it mentioned the war in Gaza, and there is a lot of very important and significant wording in this resolution, in this outcome that came from BRICS, and India was there. India adopted it, and India agreeing on every single word that published or came from BRICS itself. But again, just 10 days ago also there was a United Nations General Assembly resolution to adopt the New York outcome document, which India endorsed and voted in favor to endorse the outcome document of the two-state solution. In New York declaration itself. So that, and this is the very last two moves, but we trust if we back to the history, there are approximately 1,000 resolutions which is adopted in the United Nations General Assembly, United Nations ECOSOC, and all of these stuff. The ultimate vast majority of it, India was fully supported the Palestinian people and voted in favor of this resolution.
Talking about this relationship, how do you look at Prime Minister Modi's role in nurturing the relationship between India and Palestine, if I may ask, and the contribution of India in some of the supporting and aiding Palestinian refugees as well. How do you look at the role of Prime Minister Modi in that?
Indeed, under just 2 days ago, I had been asked the same exact question under the chairmanship and the rule of His Excellency the Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Those two resolutions, those two outcomes was adopted under the chairmanship of His Excellency Narendra Modi and his government. Of course, India is paying each year $5 million to UNRWA. UNRWA is the United Nations entity that is dealing with the Palestinian refugee question. So that when we, in the macro level, when it came, and by the end of the day, this is the decision of His Excellency, the Prime Minister Narendra Modi. In the macro level, India is used to be still, and we will trust that India is continue to be in support of the Palestinian people. Just less than 2 months, President Abbas sent to His Excellency the Prime Minister Narendra Modi a letter, an official letter, a personal letter, asking him to help in more than one issue. And we are pretty sure that the relation even between President Abbas and the Prime Minister Narendra Modi is a very good relation. Just 1 year ago, on the eve of the ONGA, ONGA 79 ONGA, there was a bilateral meeting between both of both of them, and it was a good discussion. So that yes, we are there, and he is there always. It's a very deep question, and I used to start by saying that just 10 days ago, before the new tsunami of recognition of the state of Palestine, there was 149 states that recognizing the state of Palestine. This is a very important step and very important investment in the peace process and the two-state solution. Those new countries, which led, of course, by, with all due respect to everyone, led by, of course, just a few months ago, it was led by Spain and other countries. Then France led this very important effort these days. But again, we should, of course, be thankful to all of those countries that recognize the state of Palestine. But as we used to say in economic, this is necessary but not sufficient. There were 149 countries recognize the state of Palestine. Even vast majority of them more than 36 years ago. The issue is now how to convert this theoretical level, which is again very important level, which is a step forward to implement or to strengthen our legal and to strengthen our position at the international arena and international when it came to the international law and all of this stuff. But the question is how to go step forward in a practical level from a theoretical level, recognize the state of Palestine to embodiment of the state of Palestine. This is the most important issue. And the international community, on top of them, of course, the Western countries, the European country had a lot of tools. And at their hands, there is a lot of tools if they implemented it. And all of these tools is very peaceful, very legitimate, very legal, very diplomatic tool. If they implemented part of it, I can assure you that Israel will put to it end, it will come, or the Israeli occupation will come to its end within less than 1 month. And let me just shed light and just make some comparison. European country and international community at large impose, in general, European country, impose more approximately 30,000 different type of sanctions on Russia, just during the last 3 years. But when you compare what Israel did to the Palestinian people and how much sanctions, how much measures that imposed against the Israeli occupation since 1948, not 1967, it's zero sanctions. So what I would like to say that it's time to move from a theoretical level to practical level, and to do so. And everyone worldwide used to say that, except of course the current American leaders. Everyone is saying that Israeli settlement is illegal settlement, and it is the main obstacles to the two-state solution and to the peace process. It's fair, but not fair enough. So if you believe that the Israeli settlement and the Israeli settler gangs, terrorist gangs, is the main obstacle to the two-state solution, how come the settlement product, the product that came from the settlement, is flooding your shelves, especially in the European country? If you are against the settlement, this means that you should stand strong against all the product that came from the settlement. You should boycott the settlement economic activity. You cannot say that I'm against the settlement, meanwhile you are invested, or your bank system, or many issues investing, many financial instrument, European financial instrument is investing heavily in the Israeli settlement. You cannot say that I'm against the Israeli settlement while the ambassador in X and Y country is a terrorist settler. If you are against, there is no way. Either there is a pregnancy or not a pregnant or not a pregnant. I'm against the settlement. This means that I'm against everything related to the illegal settlement. But to say I'm against the settlement, then the settlement product in your shelf, I'm against the settlement, then the settler, a man is the ambassador of Israel in your country. This is not. So that again, the last European move, which led by France, is a very important move. Again, necessary but not sufficient. We need to see some practical level, because again, Israel is very customized to this type of rhetoric. I mean, Israel, let me just give you one example. In 1980, when Israel adopted the law, or adopted the law called Jerusalem Law, which they declared their sovereignty over all Jerusalem, the occupied part of Jerusalem, East Jerusalem, beside West Jerusalem. And the Jerusalem, according to the 181 resolution, which is the birth certificate of Israel itself, is having a special case. West Jerusalem and East Jerusalem. Then in 1980, they declared that it will be a united Jerusalem. There is a special law. United States of America in the United Nations Security Council stand strong against this law and condemn this law and considering it null and invalid. But the same exact country that stand against this resolution after less than 4 decades declared or recognized Jerusalem, entire Jerusalem, as the capital of Israel, and move its embassy to Jerusalem itself. Could you imagine the difference between, in just 4 decades, how much that difference was that big? So that again, Israel is completely knowing that this rhetoric will come to its end after 1 decade or 2 decades. It's time to invest heavily on the implementation of the two-state solution. We already, as international community, have the legal base for the two-state solution. Now we should move a step forward to put teeth and nails to this legal base. Listen, it's again, this is not the first speech for President Mahmoud Abbas, and our President Mahmoud Abbas is very consistent to the peace process a long time ago. The same exact speech, or the essence of this speech, you're gonna find it everywhere. That were in every speech that President Mahmoud Abbas delivered. So that we did not move since we signed Oslo Accord. The narrative, our narrative as the Palestinian people, is the peace process itself. Negotiation table, two-state solution, state of Palestine, demilitarized state of Palestine in 1967, border with East Jerusalem as it is capital. Our narrative was not changed since 21 days in a row. I mean, since the October 7, the same exact narrative, hostages from both sides, because there were approximately 10,800 Palestinian hostages in the Israeli jail. So hostages from both sides should not be taken from scratch, from the beginning. No one should be. We at the Palestinian Liberation Organization, President Abbas, stand strong against the military resistance of the Israeli occupation. It's our position long time ago. We did not move from. But the issue is, what about the other part? We are very consistent since we signed Oslo Accord. We are very consistent with our language, or our language did not change at all. But the other part is not consistent, is not really interested in the peace process. You cannot say that the Israeli is interested in peace or peace process while we start with, for example, 100 settlement, and now we are talking about more than 400 settlement and illegal, they call it illegal outposts. All settlement and illegal outposts, all of it is illegal. We are talking about the number of the settlers themselves became 400 to 500% more than how did we start the peace process. So that we are very consistent. President Abbas used to be very consistent and will continue to be very consistent in our move towards the peace process and the two-state solution. The only one who is not consistent is the Israeli side. The only one, we did not have an Israeli partner in peace process since the current prime minister and the current fanatic minister, one of them was succeeded to assassinated Ishaq Rabin in 1995. We did not have a partner for a peace process. You mean the fugitive from justice? It's very important to say that the Israeli prime minister is wanted criminal, fugitive from justice. It should be used. Now we should, as international community, use the exact adjective to those people. He's a wanted criminal man by the ICC, and this is not our word. This is, when it came to the legal base, they call it a fugitive from justice. The fugitive from justice. We should, as international community, to start using this exact wording, fugitive from justice. Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, said in a very dangerous word during his speech yesterday. He said, finish the job. And only the Israeli and anyone who is, of course, expert of the Israeli society know what's the meaning of finish the job. The Israeli society believed that in 1948, 1949, because the expelling of the Palestinian people and the ethnic cleansing was continued till 1950, 1952 even. During that time, under the chairmanship of Ben-Gurion, Israel was able to expel the entire Palestinian people from the entire historical land of Palestine, which means from Gaza, West Bank, East Jerusalem, and even from the remaining part of the Palestinian who is still carrying the Israeli passport today. So the Israelis used to say, and still saying, that Ben-Gurion was wrong because he did not finish the job. Finish the job is in a very, very dangerous wording. This is the exact issue or the exact goal that he declared it himself when he said that we will going to expel the Palestinian people from Gaza. This is the exact move that he is used to take it, and the measures that he is taking it in West Bank right now is to expel the Palestinian people, to ethnically cleanse the Palestinian people from West Bank and Gaza, or, as he rightly mentioned it yesterday, Finish the job. He's sending a message to his people. Finish the job is in a very dangerous wording. But no one, unfortunately, shed light on this. Put aside, of course, all the lies that he shed light on it, and on top of that is to bring back the hostages. Even the Israeli, none of the Israeli people is believing him that he's one of his goals, one of the goals of this war is to bring back the hostages. Period. You mean the devastating condition. We are talking about, and now reporting, unfortunately. We should back to reporting. We are talking about two sides of Palestine now, in Gaza and West Bank. In West Bank, it's not less devastating. Yes, it's not that bloody, but the consequence of the Israeli measure in West Bank will be more devastating and more lasting than the consequence of the Israeli war on Gaza. But on Gaza itself, we are talking about 65,000+ Palestinians who is totally, we know that they are already killed. And when we say that all of them innocent people, all of them without no exceptional, our argument is very true, because the Israelis so far cannot bring us with one names. All of those 65,000 names is declared. We know it. Could Israel to tell us this one is wanted or Hamas or any? But so far they did not told us. Even again, just less than 1 month, The Guardian, the British newspaper or British newspaper, revealed a report about the war in Gaza based on declassified document from the Israeli army. The Israeli army is saying, according to this report in The Guardian, 83% of them is innocent people. When we talk about 65,000, vast majority, 75+% of them is women and children. We are talking about 12 to 15,000 Palestinian homes completely disappear. We did not know whether they are under the rappels so far, this 12 to 15,000 under the rappels, on the abandoned streets, decomposed, of course, and we saw tens of videos of people who was already there, the remains of them, and their bodies decomposed in the streets, or some of them even we watch the dogs is eating of their bodies. There is video. We are not saying something. It's a video, and I can publish this video, and anyone can reach out to me, my office. I can share with all of these video with anyone who wants to see how did the street dogs is eating the people in Gaza. This is part of the tragedy. Then we are talking about many of those, or thousands of those, is dismembering, totally dismembering. Anyone who had been hit directly by the bomb, the American bombs, and this is, I'm not revealing a secret, this is, of course, American bomb. Anyone who was in the eye of the bomb itself, you will not find any single part of his body. So that we are talking about 12,000 to 15,000 homes might be under the rappel or might be already totally, utterly dismembered. We are talking about approximately 40,000 orphans in Gaza. We are talking about 5,000 to 6,000 whom was amputated, and vast majority of them children. 95% of the Gaza inhabitant is internally displaced person. This is not our wording, this is the United Nations wording. Famine is there, and it was declared. Famine was declared in Gaza, and when the United Nations declared the famine, this is a famine. Regardless of what the American and the Israeli is denying this fact, there is a famine declared in Gaza since more than or around 2 months ago. We are talking about approximately 300 plus of your colleagues, the journalists, and your colleagues, of course, whom was targeted, intentionally targeted, not killed, targeted by the Israeli, is just to blind the eyes of the international community. We are talking about the vast majority of Gaza building, and all of you watch in the recent day that they start dismantling, destroying the high towers in Gaza. So we are talking about Gaza. It's completely became rebels. This is just to name a few, of course.
This was into the last question about the peaceful resolution. If it is going forward, what kind of role do you expect from India for the peace in the region?
When we talk about India, we talk about the largest democratic, the biggest democratic country worldwide. When we talk about India, we talk about 1.4 billion human being. When we talk about India as someone who was served in the United Nations for 8 years, when India decide in the United Nations, when India dig its heel in the United Nations, India can change the international arena in general and in at large. When it came to the political issues, India is a key player and can hang the balance. So that we look to India to utilize it as a very heavy, very respected, well-known political power.